friends. We are hanging out today. I am Kori with Kori and Jerry Photography, and we are working on a super fun new project called Stories with Kori. And so our goal, our heart is to hang out with really cool people doing some really cool things, especially locally in our area. And we are hanging out with my dear friend Jamie today.
Hi.
I'm super excited.
I'm pretty excited.
We just wanted to take some time and share with you her story of building Culture Coffee Bar and kind of some fun stuff along the way. So, Jamie, tell us what it is that you guys do.
Yeah, so we're a mobile coffee bar based out of Modesto. That's where our heart is to serve people, is in Modesto. So we have local pop-ups around town that happen on a weekly basis. We have certain places that we are all the time. And then we serve special events like weddings, conferences, employee appreciations, all kinds of things, just to make people feel special and get a good cup of coffee.
It was super fun. We were hanging out with her team this last weekend at a wedding. It was so stinking pretty. So literally, like, picture it with me, like there's mountains in the background and beautiful orchards and the sun is setting, and then all of a sudden you open up the barn doors and there is Culture Coffee Bar. And so it was super fun. All of Krista and Trent's guests got to walk outside and enjoy a cup of coffee, and I know Krista and Trent love Culture Coffee as well, so that's kind of super fun. I loved it, especially, I think Shelby made me an oat vanilla latte.
It's the best thing ever.
It was kind of bomb, so I loved it. But hey, one of the things that I love about Jamie, and Jamie and I have been friends for, Jamie was saying, like 5-ish years, is I love, obviously, that they make an incredible cup of coffee. I love their cute stinking trailer, and they're a lot of fun to hang out with, but I love their heart behind it. And so tell us a little bit about like when you started, how you got started, and maybe a little bit more about why you do what you do.
Yeah, so we've been in business about 9 months. It feels like a lot longer and a lot shorter all at one time. It's kind of strange. But there was a lot before that took place prior to getting in business. So it's been about 2.5 years. The idea popped in my head to open a mobile coffee bar, and it came out of nowhere. I don't have a lot of experience in the coffee world or the business world, but it just came to me, and it developed over time as this idea of something that would be really great to bring together the community of Modesto, to offer things for people that are health conscious, who want to know what is going in their coffee, and just a great way to bring the community together and have something that the people love and have fun. And I've always felt called to make people feel seen and to be transparent with my journey. So it's been a really cool way to tie all of that together.
That is awesome. I stinking love it. So tell me a little bit about, like, obviously you want to serve people well. Tell me a little bit more about how this whole project helps you do that.
Well, it really just gives us, I call the coffee bar my vessel, because coffee is what we do. Obviously, we serve really great coffee, and we provide services to, businesses and events and things like that just add something to their event. But that is not at all what our main focus is. Our main focus is making people feel seen and serving people and loving on them and just encouraging people. And so it's been a really cool way to get into these places that I wouldn't be able to reach otherwise, that we're able to just reach people and love on them through coffee. So it's really cool.
I love it. Every time, it's like you are handed like a cup of yummy goodness every time they hand you something. Tell me a little bit, I know that it has not been, a super easy journey for you to get here. I love, one of the things, so like, our friendship is obviously deeper than coffee. And so, and I'm going to totally out us right now. We're kind of bachelorette lovers. And so we spent a lot of years on the couch watching, Monday nights. And so I still remember like going back to like before, like when it was just an idea and you started to share like, hey, I have this idea, and putting it to paper and kind of all those good things. Like, I know it wasn't just as easy as putting it down. So maybe tell us a little bit about some of the challenges and all that.
Yeah, it's been a crazy journey. One of the things, you talked about sitting on the couch together. One of the biggest parts of this journey for me has been building a community around me. So that helped keep me accountable, because that was the first time I spoke my idea out loud to somebody other than my husband. So there was that, but there was also
basically you're welcome for being super annoying. Every time we hung out to watch The Bachelor, what's going on? What are you doing? All right.
I'll buy you a binder.
I did. I totally said, okay, so now that you've got this idea, let's get you a binder, and every time you've got ideas, I can put it in there. I swear, buy a binder, like write it down. Even if it takes a while, write it down. Anyways.
But encourage me to keep going.
And I'm a nerd, so it's all good.
So yeah, there was was a lot of obstacles. One of the biggest things being feeling unqualified. There's nothing on paper that says I should own a business. I didn't go to business school. I don't know very much about coffee. I don't know how to build a trailer. I didn't know how to hitch or tow a trailer.
But she does now.
I had no idea what I was doing. So there was a lot of obstacles with that. I mean, so many things with getting health permits, with being shot down, dealing with really difficult people, difficult situations, things falling apart, things breaking. There was just a lot to learn and a lot of obstacles to face, but having that why of knowing why I was doing this and that I was opening this thing to connect with people, to make people feel seen and be an encouragement to people, I feel like having that why behind what I was doing just really helped me climb through those obstacles, because I knew on the other side of that was going to be a story that I got to tell. So it's really, it was hard, but it was worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I feel like you have fought through a lot of stuff, and it's fun to now see, like, it's like there's just so much that goes into, that has gone into
it's
a cup
fun
of
on
coffee.
It's fun on the other side.
I like that we're here to tell your story today. I like it. Well, you talked a little bit about building your community. You talked about how, like, having people around you helped you kind of, you know, where you are today. Tell me a little bit more about, like, I know you have a heart to encourage other people, and so I know that that's super important to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, building a community is everything. Without that, like, my why doesn't mean anything. Those obstacles that I climbed, that means nothing. Like, without that community of people supporting and encouraging and keeping you accountable, without those people, I feel like you have nothing. I mean, it's just been just an incredible thing to have people around me who are keeping me going and doing what I'm doing. So it was a long path to get here.
Yes, it has been. So tell me a little bit, so there's one specific story that we were kind of talking about earlier, and that was, you know, that moment where you felt like, okay, like you felt like giving up, like this was my quit moment, and what happened, and obviously we know you didn't stinking quit because you're still serving coffee today, but tell us, maybe speak to somebody out there who is feeling like throwing in the towel, or feeling like this is their quit moment. Like, what was it for you that made the difference, and what could you say to encourage somebody else?
Yeah, so I wanted to quit pretty much every day throughout the whole process of building the trailer, of getting everything ready. I wanted to quit all the time. But I didn't, and then we finally got to a point where the trailer was in our backyard, sitting on the side of the house. Everything was ready to go. We were getting ready to go get health permits, to do all of the final things to get ready to go, but we were running out of money, and it was a really scary thing because we were supposed to be in business months before, and it didn't happen. And so obviously I felt like God was encouraging me to do this, and he's a big part of the story. So I'd been praying for weeks about, I know you called me to do this. I know you have a way for me, but I don't see it. And so I just prayed for God to show up and show me that he's got my back. And within, a couple of weeks, I was meeting with new team members to hire. And so I met with one of our team members and had just, shared the heart of culture. I didn't tell her we were really struggling with those sort of things, but I just told her the heart behind what we were doing and that it was getting really, really difficult to do. And later that day, I was walking through Costco and I got an alert on my phone that her husband had Venmo'd me $200. And I started crying inside Costco because I had texted her like, hey, I think your husband accidentally sent me $200. Like, I'll send it back. I don't know what's going on. And she told me that the Lord had put on her heart to donate that towards what we were doing with culture. And I was just in tears in the middle of Costco. I text my husband, I text, a few people close to me of how God had shown up. And it was just what we needed to be able to get through that last few days before it was time to open, to buy the supplies to even be able to sell coffee. So it was just a huge moment for me where I was ready to quit, even with the trailer there at my house, and even with everything ready to go, I was ready to give up.
Yeah, but you didn't.
I didn't.
Okay. I like it. You are here. There was something that you said, and it was, if you have a heart to do something, and then you got it. Move forward anyways. I didn't say that, y'all. Like, she said it. And as we were talking this morning, she was just saying, like, move forward anyways. And I was, like, writing, like, furiously.
Even if you're scared to death. I mean, the thing with me is, like, it wasn't for lack of fear. It's not that I wasn't scared to do it. I was scared every moment. I wanted to quit every moment, like I said. But I think there's something to be said about pushing past that and knowing there's a path ahead of you and doing it anyways. Even though you're scared, even though you're unqualified, even though there's obstacles in front of you, even though people say you can't do it, even though all of those things, move forward anyways.
Yeah.
I'm getting chills just talking about it.
we were trying to make it under 10 minutes for you, but we couldn't quite get it. So this is like part 2 to like life with culture coffee. So again, I just want to recap. Like, I love her stinking quote that just says, like, if you have something burning in your heart, if there's something that you feel called to do, stink it and do it, and move forward anyways. And I feel like you have just shown us how to show up and how to do hard things and how to move forward anyways, even when it gets stinking hard. And so I love their story, and I love a cup of coffee with them. And so we are going to do a little bit of a giveaway. Jamie is giving some fun stuff away. We're going to keep it a secret. You can go to our Instagram, and our Instagram is going to have all of the details on the giveaway, how to win, how to enter, all of that fun stuff. And then also want to tell you where you can find Jamie. You can find Jamie at Culture Coffee Bar on Instagram and on Facebook.
Yes.
Yes.
And you can find her at Kori and Jared.
You can.
Hashtag stories with Kori.
Hashtag stories with Kori. We're pretty stinking excited about this new project. I just love, again, like, I love that it's giving us an opportunity to really highlight some of the good stuff. I feel like you can find junk all day, every day on Instagram and on the news and all of this stuff. And I feel like, not to go off on a tangent because this is kind of all about you, but I feel like when we went through some hard stuff earlier in the spring, I just feel like people showed up like crazy in ways that I would, first of all, never want to ask and never should ask. Or accept. Yeah. And I think that there is something humbling about accepting help because we stink and need it. And that's kind of where this came from. Like, this came from just a desire to talk about other people who are doing cool things. Maybe things that go unnoticed or unseen, or maybe you just don't know why it is that they do what they do. And I feel like that why is so much more important than just what we do. And so that's why we're doing this. That is why we are here. And I just really like hanging out with cool people I like it. I like it. So, hey, one other question that I did want to ask you though is, how do people find out where you are? So obviously you guys pop up and I know where to find you, but how would somebody on the internet find you?
So we post our schedule weekly, typically on Sundays on Instagram and Facebook, and so you can see our schedule there. You can also request us to come to your location at culturecoffeebar@gmail.com or through our Instagram or Facebook requests as well.
Awesome. And we will put all of that information in all of the places, but make sure to check it out on our Instagram, Kori and Jared, and it'll have all of the giveaway fun details. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys.